Welcome back to the Jojitorium. It's Decaying with the boys. Here in the studio, we have the same familiar cast of characters. It's Adam, Josh, and Matt. We're talking about whatever we want, and nothing's off limits. Just a quick heads up, it is a beautiful morning here, and it's also the day after I drank probably my weight in beer yesterday at Couch, because if you didn't listen to the last episode, which I don't know why you wouldn't, you would know that Adam made a beer with Couch. The collaboration Clouds Over California hit taps and cans yesterday, and it's out for mass distribution. I just want to congratulate Adam this morning on that. The beer is fantastic. Adam, kudos to you, man. It was, it's what I wanted it to be. It's a West Coasty meets East Coasty beer. It's phenomenal, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. It turned out almost how I had planned. We had to adjust a little bit of the hops that we used for it. But other than that, it came out really well. A nice, light 6%, so enjoyable to go over there, and you can have a couple and still drive home. So I think,
sure. I actually showed up
right after me?
Like 5 minutes after me last night. Actually.
Oh, yeah. I had a full night. I put in the full shift from open to close at Couch.
Yeah. I was ready to say we were sharing Adam yesterday for the most part.
Yeah, I asked him when he was leaving. He said about 9-ish, and I was like, okay, it's about 7:30. I'll roll out.
Yeah, I probably
turned into 10-ish. I mean, of course, if you were showing up, I was staying.
Yeah. I think I tapped out over there at like 8. And then I'll tell you this, though. I was foggy enough to not understand how debit cards work because Mel put the tab in front of me, and I was like, well, where do I sign? And she didn't give me a pen. And Adam looks over at me, and he goes, you have to pay first. And then they let you sign for it.
They thought you just thought they already ran your card without having your card.
Yeah, I'm out for the first time in a long time, talking to people not over Zoom for the first time in like forever.
Yeah,
and I was so caught up, and I was like, this is so much fun. And then I was like, I want to pay and go home. Why don't you want my money? This is how this is supposed to work. You're supposed to give me stuff, and I'm supposed to give you money.
This story coming from the man that just said you can have a couple and still have clarity to drive home.
Oh yeah,
well, I didn't say that.
He didn't just drink Clouds Over California. He was having some barrel aged. He was dipping into some 10%ers.
Yeah, I definitely made sure that I sampled some of the other fine beverages over at Couch as well. And not to continue on with the Adam Love Fest, but they still do have the Four Horsemen beer over there. And
no, they don't. It kicked right after you left.
Oh well, never mind.
They do have it on the barrel age.
They do have the barrel age,
but
which is good.
It is.
And I had the barrel age as
nice
well.
And boozy.
And so no one's concerned. I had tasters. Everyone's thinking, how'd you drink all? I didn't. So I had tasters. I was lost in the fog of having a good time. Everyone should drink responsibly and get home safely. There are Ubers. If you get pulled over for DUI, it's your own goddamn fault these days. So yes, if you're hearing this and you want to go try it out, go over to Couch, couchbrewery.com to order your cans for takeout, or just head on over to Couch Brewery itself, and you can get cans face-to-face there with the lovely people that own and operate, or you can get it on draft. And that's what I did. I got it on draft, and I don't regret it.
And I think they're still in stout season.
Yeah, they still have a couple over there, and they're still playing pretty well. Like the recliner was really good, and then their Morningwood Coffee Stout.
That was still on tap.
Super knockout.
I know that kicked
Tiki
yesterday.
Tiki Torch too. Yeah,
I know that Morningwood kicked.
Oh,
yesterday.
did it?
Yeah, I don't know if they had.
I helped with that.
Yeah.
I was going to say I had a taster of that. I helped.
I'm pretty sure it was after yours. I heard.
I mean, I do know they're going to come out with another string of stouts here soon. I'm not sure the exact brew schedule, but I think I might be out there to help with one of those too. But details will follow in the future episodes. Yeah,
TBD, and
no dates yet.
Just so you know, we are going to bring that information to you as it comes to us. So we're excited to see what Adam can do next. He's definitely on his way to linking up with some local breweries. So keep your eyes and ears open. Follow the Instagram. Do what you got to do to make sure you know what we're doing here in the Brew Lab. Speaking of brews, today's the day, Adam. It's the day. It's the day that Josh has to drink these sugary, shitty beverages. And now let me just say, too, that I know we kept saying Smirnoff, Smirnoff, Smirnoff. But Josh, what did Adam find for you?
So there's a nice sixer of Mike's hard raspberry lemonade sitting in front of me that I'm a pound through.
I believe in you. I also want to say, because no one sees us right now, and I got a lot of respect for you for this one thing that you did. There's probably a case of water in front of us. I'm looking at several waters that Josh also brought in, and I want to say it's probably because he wants to drink responsibly, but also probably to wash the taste of terribly mass-produced malt beverages out of his mouth.
I would rather have asshole in my mouth.
I'd like to point out too that he's wearing like a really nice white T-shirt.
Yeah, no, this is just a gym shirt.
So if he starts getting sloppy, he's gonna look like he just won the Super Bowl and he got that Gatorade Tums on.
Yeah, just the gym shirt. I don't care about.
So, but throughout the episode, we're gonna be cheering Josh on, and he has his first one locked and loaded. This is gonna be good.
So cheers, boys.
Cheers.
And since me and Matt tied on the winning side, we will be drinking one of them. We're splitting one of them together.
Yes, because we are men of our word, and I will tell you that, Jesus, it's a marathon. It's a marathon, Josh.
That's one down, folks.
One down. When you hear that clink on the table.
Not a drop on that shirt.
He keeps it clean. He's got that I'm going to drink Mike's hard drip today. And good. Drip daddy.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to concentrate.
There's a good raspberry flavor there.
You know what? And I was thinking too,
good raspberry.
If I had to pick one, I like raspberry a lot, and I like lemonade a lot. So I can, kind of put them together and see what you can get.
Fun fact: if I have to turn in my brewer card for this, Mike's Hard Lemonade, I think was the first alcoholic beverage I drank. It was the plain, not the raspberry.
Yeah, that was one of the first ones I remember getting drunk off of and instantly regretting it the next day because I had heartburn and a hangover.
I was going to say, you think beer shits are bad? Try some juicy shits.
Jesus
Christ. You guys did it well by starting on the mics. My first was, you remember back in the day, I don't even know if they still make them, Jack Daniels had a wine cooler. Like a fuzzy navel.
I do remember those. I don't see them anywhere anymore except for Star Lake. I don't know what that's been called now, but big concert venues have them, and that's the only
that was my story.
Yeah. They are nasty.
They are terrible, and they cost way too much money. I can't believe that I would ever. I don't think that I would ever want to pay, was it $15 for one of those things?
I mean, back when I was 15.
Yep.
Stole them while camping.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart play.
Dragged down a sixer and just lost my guts. But
yeah, man.
Those things are terrible.
I tell you what, I don't want to promote underage drinking, but I think you got to find out how terrible it can get really quick, and that way you just kind of understand moderation before you go somewhere like college or away from your home for the first time.
That's where my problem is. I didn't underage drink.
Yeah, I know.
We actually talked about that the other day. Yeah. I was surprised.
Yeah. I almost couldn't believe it. For as much as he's into beer now, he never. And he was stalwart about it too. Being in college with you, we were all talking about going and getting something to drink because I think I turned 21 before you did. Yeah,
no, I was right before you.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know months and dates. So yeah, when I turned. What was it? When I turned 21, I remember we were having that conversation at Strikers, of all places, back in Waynesburg, and you never had a drink.
Yeah, I think I was asking you what light beer to get.
Yeah. But now look at us. We have beer guts, and we don't understand that if you have too many double hazy IPAs, that you're drinking liquid Big Macs. Yeah. So. And
I was 60 pounds lighter back then.
Yeah, dude. I think we all were. Collectively, we were all one cruiserweight wrestler smaller back then, yeah.
But sir, it's not a beer gut nowadays. It's 2021.
Yeah.
It's called dad bod.
Dad bod. And you know
dad
what?
Bod.
I love dad bod, and I will dad bod to go for it, man. Oh my God. Number 2. And he doesn't even sip it.
Do you want a straw?
Why?
So you can shotgun him.
He's sucking the soul out of that bottle.
That was crazy.
Holy Christ!
Wow, I've never seen somebody develop diabetes.
Yeah, I'm watching it. It's forming
live feed, baby. Let's do it.
But I gotta say that I can see the malt beveraginess getting to you a little bit because you do have a little gleam in your eyes, a little bit of a tear.
It's that sugar
and a little red dye to his lips now.
It's so sweet.
It looks like It looks like you've been making out with a lollipop.
Yeah.
Where are them fucking Oompa Loompas?
Oh my god. So, like we were saying, Josh is gonna be rolling through that punishment throughout, and we're gonna keep checking in with him to make sure he's okay. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna let us know if something's going on. I would like to believe. So, Josh also went out and he got us something that we're gonna try from Monday's Brewing, another local spot around us that just opened up actually during the pandemic, right? Am I
Yeah,
October.
It opened October 31st of 2020. So Halloween Day, my
Wow,
favorite
man.
day. In the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah, talk about bravery. I mean, opening during the middle of a pandemic, and I haven't been lucky enough to have anything for Mondays. I know you guys have. So this is actually my first time I'm going to have anything for Mondays, and I'm really excited about that. But I know, Josh, you're pretty close to that place.
Yeah.
And Adam kind of knows some of the people that are...
Yeah, I know the owner and head brewer. I mean, I met him. I don't know him personally, but we've chatted on Instagram and stuff.
Awesome. So what do we have here today?
So they just released, I think it was like within the past week, they came out with a Vienna Lager that they're trying to push. When I was talking to the head brewer about it, he was saying that he's trying to push more towards like the Sam Adams style of Vienna Lager. And when you guys taste it, because Adam, I don't believe you've had this one yet either.
No, I haven't had a chance to get this one.
I had it the day that they released it because I was there, and he was just giving out little tasters. He hit it.
Yeah.
Exactly what he was trying to do, he hit. And I mean, it's maybe 15 minutes from my house. So that's
it's so good to have one so close.
Yeah, that's like my place now.
Yeah.
Like I love going in there. I love the way their menu style is set up.
Yeah.
So being called Mondays, every beer is called a day of the week.
That's smart. I like that.
So
yeah.
when you go in, you can order the Wednesday or the Sunday.
That's really cool.
And I think they rotate pretty regularly. Like
Yeah.
I went in there 2 weeks in a row. And like I think 2 of the beers changed just from Friday to Friday. So
Yeah.
it was really nice. He does a great job on his malts. His stout, porter, all of his. He had a rye IPA that was really good, and a brown ale that was great too. And he just does really unique stuff with the malts. And then he also has some great sours and really good classic IPAs. So
That sounds good.
yeah,
I mean,
check out Mondays. The head brewer's name is Sam Fee, and he is also a full-time professor at W&J College in Washington. So.
Yeah.
our rivals.
Yeah, the school I wasn't smart enough to get into.
Yeah, samesies. I tried my damnedest, and they said, no thanks.
Yeah, and I mean, Sam was really nice. I went down with my wife right when they opened on a Friday, and it was empty. It was just us in there and him and his assistant brewer, and they walked us through their whole system and picked our brain about being homebrewers and were really interested about it. So I took him some of our beers down, and he's given me feedback on
That's awesome.
everything we've made the last couple months.
So that kind of goes back to something we talked about before a couple episodes ago about just actually having a discussion with brewers, just like picking their brain and seeing what's going on. And I also find it very unique too at Mondays because what I hear is that their brew system is uniquely different than what we normally see. And I know both of you guys have been there. So what are your takes on the brewing system?
So their brewing system is it's really unique. They're in a strip mall in Waterdam Plaza in McMurray, PA, right off of 19 across from the Ace Hardware, in a little plaza. And their back brew room is very efficiently laid out. They mash in, boil, chill, and ferment all in one cone-shaped fermenter.
Okay.
And then they just like industrial brew in a bag, dip the grains in, and steep them, and then pull them out in this big stainless steel basket, which is how Sam explained it. Is it's not super efficient for like his alcohol like to get the ABV he's looking for, the sugars he wants, but it's super time efficient. I mean, it couldn't be more time and space efficient, and it's just really cool. They just winch it up on this big winch and that's how they get the grain out and drain it and rinse it, and it's a really cool process.
Yeah.
I mean, to put it in as technical terms as I know without using the system. But it was really cool to see.
Well,
I know Josh was impressed by it too.
Oh yeah. So I know I've talked to Sam a couple times.
Nice.
Through Adam, like that was the connection, Because my first time there, Adam's like, hey, there's one out by you that you should probably check out. It's real good. To hit on the rotation of the taps, every week they come out with a new Smash series.
Oh, really?
Which is nice. Yeah.
You
I
know,
think they're up to like number 7.
I love Smash IPAs,
Well,
man.
Yeah.
their Smash is not an IPA. I don't know what Smash stands for them, but that's their sour series.
Yeah.
Oh,
At
really?
Mondays, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And
they're bangers?
Yeah. I haven't had a bad one yet.
Wow.
I've never really been big on sours,
Yeah, I know that about you. Yeah.
but I will drink the hell out of these.
Oh,
'Cause
that's what's up, man.
It's got enough sour in it that you feel it,
Okay.
but like the Warhead sour where it kicks you in the back of the jaw.
Makes it
That's what I don't like about like.
So you don't want
traditional
like that
sour.
super tart.
No, I want
even.
to get the little bit of sour
Yeah.
from like the fruit or whatever you have in there.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to taste beer too, and he hits that perfectly.
And I can tell you right now, I'm in the same lane you are. If the sour is too tart, I always say if it tastes like a laser, I don't really.
Actually, I like that.
Yeah, I
like
don't
that.
really want that as much. Or I've done time and time again too, where I'll take a sour and I'll actually mix it. So I'll get like a hazy IPA that has like a pretty earthy taste to it, and I'll actually mix in like a super sour beer and just kind of like half and half it, and that actually ends up being pretty good too. But that's like, and not to throw a brewery out there, but Prairie Arts, that dude, I every sour I get from them, I feel like someone like Dr. Evil shot me in the back of the throat with a shark with a frickin' laser on his head.
And that's, like I said, that's too much.
Yeah, it's too much, man.
I used to not even really be into IPAs because of the super bitterness of the hops.
Yeah.
But as I got older, tastes change.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm there now. I might like those kind of sours. Give me 5 years.
Maybe, but also too, I think it kind of plays into like the variance of things too. I mean, IPAs can be like super hot bombs, and they can be pretty mild. So I think too that kind of changes, but it goes back to like sour can be super potent, and it could be nice and even in roll. And I fall more in line with my sours like that, like more of a roll than a sharpness. But
it's not too hoppy.
Ladies and gentlemen,
These Mike's Hard
number 3,
raspberry lemonade.
Good Lord, man. It's I can't say enough about how he is slugging these things down. It's championship status, because I thought for sure we were gonna bust these things out, and he's like, "Fucking really, Mike's Hard? Like, come on," because it's significantly more sugar in Mike's Hard.
He's just doing it.
1,000%.
Yeah, and you're just like, "Nah, man," and you just pulled those pants up.
Don't get me wrong. I was like, "Fuck, man, really?" Like as soon as I saw him in the cooler, I was like, "Fuck,
come
dude,
on, man.
this is what you got me."
It's got to be punishment.
But
Yeah, oh man.
I'm a big boy.
Yeah, but you're doing it,
I'll
man.
accept a punishment.
And I give you a ton of credit for the way that you are doing it, because I wouldn't be as like, I'm gonna dive into this balls deep.
I'll hit on why I'm so like gung ho and like nuts to the wall on this.
Yeah.
In a few minutes.
Okay.
How about we
why
before he
don't
blows
we
his
taste
yeah
this?
before
Yeah.
he blows his
Yeah,
taste buds
let's
out,
try
let's try
this
this
out.
Vienna Lager from Mondays.
So this is the Vienna Lager from Mondays. Great amber color. The aromas are on point.
5.8 ABV.
Yeah, nice and crushable.
Smells great.
So like I said, when I was first tasting it,
Oh yeah.
Sam originally he understands that you've got like the German Vienna lagers over there.
Yes.
That it's hard to play to coming from like a craft beer scene. But he was really aiming more towards that Americanized Vienna lager. Something smooth, drinkable.
Sweet.
It's got that little bit of sweetness.
Yeah.
That Sam Adams would put out.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah.
To compare it to for anybody out there that's not familiar with a Vienna.
That's a great comparison.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And I personally think he hits it. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I've had quite a few Sam Adams in my days.
Yes.
Got to go through those variety packs when they
You
come
do.
out.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It's a little darker than your typical like mass-produced Vienna Lager or even a bigger craft brewery Vienna Lager. It's just got a little more caramel to it.
I tell you what, the thing that I wasn't expecting that comes out a lot, and people will hear me say this a lot, it tastes very clean.
Yes.
It's super clean.
I get a lot of the malts on it.
Yeah,
too.
but the malt's not overpowering.
No.
Yeah,
It's-
that Vienna Lager malt Vienna malt's
Yeah.
there without
being
overtaking everything.
because
Yeah.
it can.
It's not syrupy or anything. It's not. It's still light on the tongue.
Super nice. I mean, I always want to have a Vienna be something where I can sit on my back porch and just kind of like chill out and have a couple. And I feel like I could do this.
The lawnmower
Easy.
beers.
Lawnmower beers, baby.
Easy, yeah.
Yeah, it's super crushable. And coming in at 5.5%, I mean, you could have a few of these and not know how to pay your tab over at Couch or probably
Mondays.
Or Mondays. Yeah, I don't think you're getting this Vienna. at Couch.
How many Viennas did Matt have already?
Have you been drinking my Mike's Hard over there?
Yeah, I tried to sneak a couple.
We actually got 2 6-packs. Me and Matt
Oh.
killed one already.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we lied to you and said be here for 10:30, and we were actually here at 9:30 just slamming Mike's Hard. I'm hammered.
Oh, slamming Mike's Hard, dicks in your hand. I mean,
yeah.
that kind of thing.
So, Mondays is out there. Mondays is super accessible. The one thing I do like about them too, as akin to their name, they're open on Mondays. So most places aren't. You know, Monday, I don't know who else is out there listening to this that works on a Monday. Mondays do suck. It's not, a cliche. Mondays suck. So to know that you can have your day at work and then crawl on over to Monday's Brewing and pull up a stool and get something like this Vienna, that's refreshing to know because everything around me is closed until usually Wednesday at the earliest. And some places around me actually closed on Sunday.
I have to say, looking at this Vienna lager, just one more thing about the color of it. It's sitting here in these little taster glasses in front of us. It looks like a really good, 100 proof bourbon.
Yes.
Just sitting in these glasses. Like, the color is phenomenal.
It's on point. And I actually was kind of getting a little thirsty for a nice little bourbon.
Yeah, right?
Taking a look at it, drop an ice cube in that thing and let me roll,
That's good stuff.
So, going back to, Josh is over here drinking these Mike's Hards like a champ, and that's the result of, it's punishment from one of the bets of doom.
Yeah.
I tell you what,
paying up.
and I had so much fun with the bets of doom that I really want to keep going because I think it's a lot of fun, and I think I love watching people suffer for bad choices. So, so Josh. We're going to go ahead and get you into another Josh's Bets of Doom.
There you go. You got to preemptively drink those, man.
You said it 3 times before doing the sound effects, so I wasn't ready. I was just like, oh, we're skipping it this week.
No, I want it. So eventually I will be smart enough to get sound bites and just hit drops. Yeah. I'll do that eventually, but I kind of like doing it live because I want to see Adam throw up on the microphone.
I will never pre-record the burp, and that's a lie.
I mean, I could have handled the burp, just chug one of those down real quick.
I was going to say, man, you only burp once though.
No.
You're over there just silent, like, oh, okay.
Yeah. You don't see me?
Like a true American. We don't
Pulling my head away from the mic a little bit.
Yeah, we don't have the mute button.
I was ready to say, we have some cool gear here, but I do not have a mute button, like a cough button.
I know. I'm not trying to. The initial chug, I'll burp in their ear. Yeah. I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah,
but
after that,
once it's sitting and we're in the middle of Monday's Brewing is
that's
a little obnoxious.
So going back to the bets of doom, Josh, you cooked up another great idea for us. So,
yeah, man.
Go ahead.
So I'm trying to keep it fresh because,
Yep.
we talked about it. We could legitimately do UFC fights for every bets of doom,
Yeah.
but that's not fun.
No.
We hit on it on the last episode that we're in the end of March. We finally have March Madness back because they didn't do it last year.
That's right.
So let's throw out some brackets and put some bets on it. I don't know what the punishment's going to be yet. We'll discuss that.
We got to figure that one out because
we got a couple weeks.
Yeah, and this is a big one.
It is.
It's not just picking a couple fights.
I feel like having more than a sixer should be on the table.
And you know what? I'll tell you this too, Josh. Because you are sucking those things down, you choose this punishment, man. This is, you know what? And that's how we should do it. Whoever gets punished gets to pick the next punishment for the next challenge.
It's a good idea.
Makes a little
sense. I really like that.
There's a little bit of a redemption to it.
Yeah.
You get to pick your poison and watch some of your friends get really fucked up, and I like that. Like I said, you make a bad choice, I want to watch you suffer. And that includes me. I love it when I screw up and I have to do something stupid. So, yeah, I can't wait.
So, you're saying this.
Yeah.
But you might want to pump the brakes a little
I'm never going to pump the brakes.
You might. So, let me tell you how these brackets played out.
Okay.
Because you guys did them and you sent them to me.
Yeah. You organized it,
Yeah.
and thank you so much for that because, again, I don't know anything about basketball, college basketball, that is.
No, I mean,
yeah.
neither of us do.
I have more knowledge about like putting the bracket into Excel than picking any of the teams.
Yeah.
See, that's surprising
Yeah.
because have you guys ever seen The League,
I've
the fantasy football show?
Yeah.
a couple episodes, yeah.
I'm going to pull a Rodney Ruxin real quick. I really believe there was some fucking collusion. going on.
Collusion? How dare you?
How
Yeah.
do you have the exact same brackets down to the points?
I picked my favorite schools.
Yeah. And I watched the bracketology show on ESPN, the Ocho or whatever.
Then I think Adam might be lying with just picking his favorite schools. I think he has some background information.
What was the point? What were the? But the point, I'll tell you how I picked the points. What was it? 185.
You told me yesterday it was Blink 182.
Blink 182, but I like odd numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same thing. Like when I'm on volume
Yeah.
or something, like on my radio, it's either at a 0 or a 5.
Yeah.
I don't go like 4, 2.
It messes
3.
me up.
Yeah, it's
increments
get a little
of 5.
uncomfortable. I feel like I'm weird driving now.
Yeah.
But guys, the exact same picks.
I mean, here's the thing. I think that, and this is why I probably attribute this to, Adam just, his background, he's really good with numbers. He understands probability and statistics, and he probably picked things that looked safe, but he also kind of understands, like win-loss and defense percentages and, whatever, points per game and everything. And then
If I looked at any of that,
I
yeah.
was gonna say, is that what you did, or did you just?
No,
hey,
I looked at the seedings.
I like this name.
I looked at the seedings, and then I picked a couple underdogs, and then I picked Georgetown and WVU to go. I picked WVU to go real far.
You did.
Georgetown.
You
I
put
cut off.
WVU in the Final Four.
Yeah. So.
Both. Well, so from this point forward, when
Yeah.
I reference the bracket, I'm talking about your guys' bracket.
that's fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have all these notes written out about the brackets, and I'm not going to specify like, oh, Matt's bracket did this, Adam's bracket did this, because it's the same thing.
So let me just tell you that when I'm watching these bracketology shows, it's not like they're saying you have to pick these people. So I got ideas from them, and I said, okay, I like this idea, and I like WVU a lot because I lived close to Morgantown for the longest time, and they, I loved going down there. So and just similarly, like, I think Adam probably did the same thing because we would go down to Morgantown together, and it's probably kind of what influenced him. So there might be some shared thought there. I am surprised though that our tiebreaker score was exactly the same. That was odd.
Did you use Blink 182 as a reference as well?
No, I don't like Blink 182.
I don't either, but it was just that number. I was like 90 plus 90. That's 180. Oh, Blink
That was
182. I don't know. It was really.
So
random.
what I did is I like
And then I was like,
Seuss.
I didn't want it to be a tie game, so I'm like,
Yeah.
185.
So I like Seuss a lot, and they have a song called 187. But I'm also, coming from my background, I don't want to say that because it's mean to law enforcement officers. So I was like, you know what? Kind of the same thing. I like increments of 5. So I was like, I'll take 2 off of it.
So I will pose the question:
Yeah.
do we want to keep this with it's basically me versus the two of you, or if it comes down to it, do we want to have a tiebreaker between the two of you? One of you chooses an over, one of you chooses under 185.
You're picking the punishment, so you decide. I think if we do the punishment, we won't share it. We'll just each do the full punishment.
That works. We'll run it that way then.
Okay. So
We'll run it that way.
since we shared a brain for some reason or another, you're calling collusion, and I'm saying that's bullshit.
Collusion.
But, it's not collusion.
In my Rodney Ruxin face.
I didn't. Yeah, because I didn't send it to both of you. I just sent it to you.
Yeah.
And I sent mine.
And that's what
first.
Yeah,
I just sent mine.
The
in,
next day is when I got Matt's, and I was like, "This
well, after
is
you messaged me,
crazy.
you said, "Hey man, where's your bracket?" And I was like, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna work on it." And I hand wrote mine.
You did.
And
You
I made sure, like, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go online and I'm gonna watch this bracketology show and try to figure some stuff out," because I don't know college basketball that much. I just know West Virginia because it's Press Virginia. And I think it's a fun name. So I picked that, and like I said, I ran up Seuss 187. Take 2 off.
That's fair.
There we
That's
go.
fair.
I think. Well, and I panicked Tuesday. I was like, "Oh shit, we were supposed to do we're supposed to have this in by Thursday." And I always want.
He sent me his on Tuesday morning, and I was like, I haven't even sent the brackets. And he's like, I just want to make sure I had it in. I was
went
like,
and
no,
found
you're
them.
good. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're fine.
Yeah.
I was actually getting ready to send this in 2 hours, but and I wasn't following up with you trying to pressure.
No.
It's just I know I emailed it to you.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of emails from
Yeah.
Krispy Kreme.
So you got to make sure you're being vigilant,
Yeah.
making sure that my
Yeah. I want to make sure your bracket doesn't get lost and all them.
You want to know why?
That sounds like a good punishment.
Because You want to know why that he
Oh.
has to do that, though, is because my email address is krispykremeboy6969 at krispykremelover.com. And so
He also sent me pictures of Blaze Hole.
Hashtag hot and ready.
hashtag hot and ready. You see the light? Come get the mite. It's
Throwing this out there, I promise I don't
Yeah.
want to fuck you.
okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Not this time, at least.
Not this time.
Yeah. So back to the brackets.
Yes.
This is getting really weird. I'm just gonna run down real quick and give. So I loaded all the brackets onto ESPN so that I can easily track
Smart.
the movement because
Yeah.
I can print them off and hand do it, but ESPN does it for me.
Yeah.
Um,
Work smarter,
Yeah,
not
exactly.
harder.
They score it for me. I know where we're at. But what they also have on there is a little bracket analyzer aspect to it. So I put all of our stuff in there. I also put us against a coin flip.
Okay.
So I literally just sat there for 30 minutes flipping a coin, heads or tails.
That's pretty cool.
So we know what we're doing against random.
Yeah.
Right now, random's beating our ass.
I was going to say, what happens if the random bracket beats us? Do we all get punished?
No. That's just for fun.
Okay.
That's
I'll
just
tell
to
you.
talk
That's
to.
how I pick next year. If that's...
Just the coin flip? Yeah, if we do this again next year.
To be fair, I also added Jay Bilas's bracket in our little group.
Bilas.
Bilas, Bilas, whatever.
I have no idea.
I
All I know
don't
is,
watch his shows because I don't follow college
all
basketball.
I know is that
but-
he yells a lot.
He
and,
does.
And I don't like that he does that. I feel like he's like, I want you to hear all my opinions first before you have the opportunity to speak, and I don't like that, especially in sports commentary or back and forth, however you want to say it.
So, I'd
Fuck Skip Bayless.
Oh no, not Skip.
Oh. No, but
not Skip Bayless.
Okay, then whoever you're
This
talking
is Jay
about.
Bilas.
Oh, sorry, Jay, but fuck Skip Bayless. I don't
Yeah,
like him.
no,
he's
fuck him.
a douchebag.
Yeah.
That's
Just like Colin Coward.
yeah, fuck him too.
Yeah.
I don't.
Fuck you, Skip.
Skip.
Fuck you, Skip. You gonna get the shotgun, cuz.
Rip the Skip.
So I was planning on writing down each of our brackets and kind of like going through just some quick stats.
We made it easy though, because
You did. I can eliminate an entire half of this or a third of this.
Hey, welcome to the team, Adam.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So real quick, talking about your guys' bracket.
Yeah.
You both took Alabama as the champion.
Yeah.
I'll let you guys know they have a 4% chance of winning the whole thing.
That's fine.
You know,
Okay.
I like an underdog story.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, they're coming in at the number 2 seed. From what ESPN was analyzing, they are one of the weaker 2 seeds out there.
Matt can talk bracketology all day. I picked Alabama because I like saying Bama.
Roll Tide!
And that's the way I wrote it too.
You did.
I abbreviated everything.
And I mean-
I'm lazy.
You can see that. Bama.
Bama.
Yeah. It's the easiest way to remember it.
Yeah.
So, looking over your guys' brackets, the only thing I could really pick out as a Cinderella was you guys took Georgetown over Colorado, and that's, I think if I remember, it's a 5 over or 12 over a 5. It's not really that big of a Cinderella either.
No.
But, I mean, Georgetown has a legit chance.
I just like Georgetown.
You like Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're the Hoyas, but yeah. I mean,
Oh, wait a minute. What's the, aren't they the Bulldogs in football? Georgia?
no,
You're thinking
Georgetown.
Gonzaga.
You're thinking, yeah.
Gonzaga's also?
Gonzaga's the Bulldogs.
Wait a minute.
I would know. That's who I picked.
Okay, never mind. So, again, I don't know anything. The West Virginia mascot is the Mountaineer, and he has a gun.
I thought it was
A
John
musket.
Denver.
No, he flew into a mountain.
Yeah, he did. Didn't he lose all that money, too? That's DB Cooper.
Colorado Mountain High, baby. That's insensitive.
All right, so I went through each round, like the round of 64, 32, Sweet 16.
Yeah.
It kind of gave me a rating on your guys' picks.
Oh, shit.
So running down the list real quick, we can stop, talk about it if you want, but I'm gonna just hammer through these real quick.
Go for it.
Round of 64, you guys are predicted at 22.9 out of 32 correct.
That's not bad.
It's not. You guys actually ended up getting I think it was
What's our rating?
round of 64. You guys had an A rating.
Oh, my. Look at that.
On
Yeah.
a roll.
You guys
There
had
you
a
go.
low Daredevil score.
Okay.
Again, because your only real Cinderella was Georgetown
Darede-
and Colorado.
Daredevil makes sense because
Yeah, he's blind as
yeah,
shit.
yeah, and that's how I went into my picks. Shit.
Your most likely to advance is going to be Gonzaga at 99%. Your least likely is MSU, and that's correct because they didn't even make it out of the play-in game.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Round of 32, you guys dropped down to a B rating.
Okay.
Still
With
get degrees, man. B's get degrees.
8.9 out of 16.
That's actually a half. That's not bad.
A little over half, yeah.
Yeah.
A little over.
I'm feeling pretty good about this.
You kept your low Daredevil rating, which
course.
means you're
Yeah.
you're kind of looking chalk at this moment. You got a couple like okay, maybe a 9 over an 8.
I didn't want to get
or
punished.
10 over 7.
I didn't want to take a punishment for
I get
this
it.
because I admittedly don't know anything about this, but I also don't want to lose because I don't know anything about this. It's the pride.
I'll tell you why I understand this in a minute. Yeah. So the most overrated team you guys picked throughout this round was number 6, Texas Tech, because they are also the lowest possibility of advancing.
Okay.
However, it's at 30%. So
That's not too bad.
They got a chance.
They do.
And I don't really know why I picked them. I think I shit on all the other Texas teams. So I was like, I got Texas Tech was like the last one to pick. I was like, I'll take them a little further.
I mean, Megan
Makes
Anderson
sense.
had a chance too when we saw that.
Yeah.
one.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that poor woman. Rest in peace.
Round of 16, you guys dropped down to a C rating. So I will let you guys know
how
you
this
guys
is
have,
going.
you guys have gotten progressively worse.
This is going a lot
Well,
like
I know how the alphabet works, Josh.
This is going a lot like my 4 years in high school.
Yeah.
It keeps going, is what I'm saying.
Oh, dear God.
Round of 16, 3.0 out of 8 correct. Probably because you guys moved up to the medium Daredevil.
Oh,
You guys were getting a little risky.
I got sick of being safe.
We went.
Maybe-
We went Jessica Jones on
Maybe
it.
picking that 8 seed over that 1 seed.
Damn it.
Your most likely to move on was Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Least likely Texas Tech.
Okay.
At 14.1. Your overrated picks actually surprised me when I saw that. You guys have 3 overrated picks in this round. You got Michigan at number 1 because they are the supposed worst number 1 seed out of the 4.
Maybe they should have moved them to like number 2.
Well, that's everything that I was hearing about this was a lot of the seeding was fucked up.
Well, isn't that like the telltale sign of
I mean-
anything NCAA? I mean,
Correct.
everything's
Yeah.
Correct.
they fuck up everything. Look what they're doing to the women's side of the bracket. I don't know if you guys watch that at all. They're fucking them over while all the men are having
I'm gonna bite my tongue. real
blast.
quick. I mean, you go no further than Oral Roberts over Ohio State last night.
Well, there you go.
Ohio State being a number 2 seed.
Also, if I could just say this real quick, I don't like Ohio State.
No, Ohio State
Or the state of Ohio.
Yeah.
Ohio State could kiss my ass.
Yeah, I don't like them at all.
Big Penn State fan. We are Penn State.
You are.
Joe
You are Penn State.
You are, yeah.
You are Penn State.
So yeah, you had number 1 Michigan, number 3 West Virginia was overrated as well, which is
I figured.
surprising.
Hmm.
I thought
don't.
at the round of 16 is where I got surprised at that because I thought they would be pushing a little deeper.
Well, if you look back at the history, and I do know this only because I like WVU, the last time I remember them ever being even in the Sweet 16, I was still in college. I mean, I was in.
I thought I remember them in the Final Four at one point.
I just remember being down in Morgantown, and they got into the Sweet 16, and someone burnt a couch in the middle of the main drag.
That's every Saturday though, dude.
But
Like,
No,
that's nothing fucking special.
But no. Because here's how it usually would work. They would burn a couch, and it'd be like 2 streets over or whatever, like at the frat houses. Someone took a full sectional couch and put it in the middle of down, like right around all the dance clubs and shit, and lit it on fire right there.
Really not surprising. Did you not see the videos from this winter when we had the ice storm?
Yeah.
The fuckers in the trash cans just going down that huge hill.
Smart.
And then the cops showed up and everybody just slid. Everybody just fucking slip and slid down this hill.
How did that cop ever thought he could actually run after that kid? He had a 100-yard advance because the dumpster that he was in went right past him. Smacked off the front of his car and just kept going.
I miss college.
But, all right, so moving on to the Elite 8. You guys dropped yet again.
Of course.
What comes after C?
D.
D rating.
Lots of other letters come
You
after
guys
it,
getting a
but
lot of the D on this one.
We're about to get on that short bus.
We are going to. I'm going to lick a window.
0.6 out of 4.
Oh, no.
This is probably because you guys moved up into the medium high on the Daredevils.
Yep, I was getting blinder and blinder.
And it's probably that West Virginia pick.
Probably.
Because you guys both took West Virginia to the Final Four.
I stand in solidarity.
I'm pretty sure. Let me look it up real quick because I think you guys went West Virginia and Baylor in the Final Four.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah.
So you went Kansas, Alabama on one side, Baylor, West Virginia on the other, and you took Alabama and Baylor into the championship.
I chose Baylor because Chip Gaines went there.
Because of Brittany Griner?
No, Chip Gaines. He went.
Who? That's why you took Baylor?
Yeah.
Oh, I took him just because there's some badass mofos.
I just like.
Because they're green and gold.
Wasn't that where RG3 came out of?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. I
The
picked
school of no knees.
I picked him because I love Fixer Upper on HGTV, and that's where Chip went. So I picked.
Fair.
What?
Shotgun.
Really? Come on. They're a sweet couple that fix
I will
up
say,
houses.
the only one I did, I eliminated out of spite was Liberty University because
you hate the word
they can
liberty.
just go. They can just go
you're
home.
a Nazi.
They're the ultra religious school that
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I
And they
take
went
back
out-
what I said.
they
They're
went-
Nazis.
Yeah, they went out last night. Yeah, they're like the Chick-fil-A cuck guy.
Yeah.
That's his school.
Yeah, Jim Cornette.
So as we move into the Final Four,
Find us
they
somebody-
stopped giving letter grades at this point.
Good.
Not just for
Yeah.
you guys, but for me as well. Like
I just
they
wanna-
stopped with the letter grades.
We're
Can I
off the
just
scale.
Can I just say though, I feel like if they still gave letters, they wouldn't even keep us in like.
You guys got like an E.
Yeah, I don't. It would have been like that incomplete. You would have got an
The I.
Yeah, we're repeating the grade.
Yeah, call us
I mean
back
that
in.
makes sense because you're predicted at a 0.2 out of 2. But I think if you did the math, your percentage is actually better in a Final Four.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
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 So you're telling me there's a chance?
Bama, baby.
Again, you kept with the medium high Daredevil.
Staying consistent.
I like
Your
my
best bet
Daredevil
is
high.
Baylor at 14.6. Your lowest is Bama at 8%.
Okay,
The experts at ESPN don't think Bama's going.
that's okay. They're wrong. They're wrong. Fuck you, Skip Bayless. You're wrong.
I talked to Daryl the Barrel, and he said they're going all the way.
Yeah.
Daryl the Barrel.
There you go. That's all I needed to know. Is that Daryl said so, and that's all I give a crap about. Is that Daryl said so.
So, I spent a lot of time
Yeah.
discussing your guys. Let's flip it and talk about the winning bracket here for a second.
So what? Adams?
I will say
No, the coin. So I ended up going Gonzaga to take the whole thing. Zaga's actually at a 29.8% chance. I'll be honest, don't know shit about college basketball.
Yeah.
Only reason I picked them is they're undefeated right now. And to make it through an entire season, plus your conference tournament, and stay undefeated, it's impressive.
That is very impressive.
They have a hard road.
Yeah.
So for my Cinderellas, though, in the South, I actually went Utah State,
Okay.
number 11, and the one that ended up screwing me yesterday.
Yeah.
I took number 14, Colgate, because
I like Colgate.
they've been from what I was
I'm a Crest man.
what I was reading.
Are you?
They've been on a tear.
Okay.
They actually were, I think, the number 14 team in all of basketball for the back half of the season.
Okay.
I don't even know where that school's at.
No,
Neither do
don't.
I. I didn't care. I like picking a Cinderella.
I always hear their hockey team is always in they do pretty well. Yeah, Colgate. And
I mean,
Quinnipiac
yeah.
I guess they're up
and
north, right?
yeah.
Hockey compared to basketball, same thing.
It's you know what, and that's what I
Same athletics.
I can't wait till. Can we do that? Can we do like the Frozen Four at some point?
That'd be fun.
Yeah. I feel like
I think
collectively
it
we
already
have.
happened, didn't it?
For this year,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm
They're
pretty
in-
sure it did.
They're in Hamilton, New York.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, but I think collectively we know way more about hockey.
Not college hockey.
Yeah, I don't know
You-
anything about
I'll
college.
just
hockey.
pick every team from Minnesota.
That's why I have.
I know John Marino came from Harvard.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah,
That's it.
my man's he's with Ryan Fitzpatrick somewhere.
Good Lord.
Yeah, he played for the Dolphins. Marino. This is
So did Ryan Fitzpatrick.
This is how much I know about. This is how much I know about.
Ryan
sports.
Fitzmagic. Well, that's where I might actually have the leg up on you guys because with Sling TV, I have all these extra channels like Stadium and stuff, and I get to watch. It's like College Hockey Friday or something. And
Okay.
I get to watch like 5 games. It's very nice.
So where did you end up being graded, Josh?
Yeah.
So the round is 64, where you guys were at a 22.9. I was at a 22.8.
Ooh.
We both hit an A rating.
Okay.
Illusion.
Both on
Our-
the low Daredevil.
our
Josh
A
used
rating
my
is a
bracket because
little-
it was so good.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why I picked Colgate.
Yeah.
Going through to the round of 16.
You want to make it look different.
So again, Zaga, my number one.
Yeah.
Colgate, my least likely, and we saw that play out.
Yeah.
Round of 32 is where I keep a keep dropping down to a B rating here. 8.6 out of 16. And that's because I hit a high Daredevil rating.
Okay.
Because like I just said, I pushed Colgate through to the Sweet 16 as my Cinderella pick.
You should have just copied Adam.
Apparently.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make sure before I even looked at his, I had mine in.
That was smart.
I
waited till after he was done to put mine in.
Yeah, I know.
No.
Would have made sense since you two worked together on it.
No, I never copied his
collusion.
Homework. I never copied his homework.
I did my own work.
Yeah.
Sweet 16 is where I start coming out ahead of you guys. Where you guys had a 3.0, I'm at 3.4 out of 8.
Okay.
I kept my B rating and moved down to a low Daredevil because that's where I took Colgate out of the scene.
I feel like Josh cheated and compared his bracket to the coin flip bracket.
Yeah, it's Skip Bayless.
Yeah, Skip Bayless.
Who doesn't even have one out, but all right.
Yeah, I don't think he does basketball.
He doesn't? I thought he was okay.
I think he's football.
He has that show with Shannon Sharp, I think.
Which I love.
I don't know if that's even still on, to be honest. I think Shannon moved.
It's FS1 if it's on still.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it is.
Yeah, I love Shannon Sharp, man.
Yeah,
he's dope. I like it. He eats Skip Bayless's lunch every goddamn day on that show, from what I can remember.
So in the Elite 8, where you guys went to a 0.6, I kept a 1.0 out of 4.
Okay.
I had a C rating. And again, the only reason this is happening on, like, statistically on my side is because I have Zaga winning the whole thing.
Okay.
You guys took them out, I think, going into the Final Four.
Yeah, that's when I took.
Yeah, because
so
I think
what
you
you're
took Kansas.
telling me is I have to root really hard against Gonzaga,
The actual Bulldogs.
the actual Bulldogs.
Yeah. We're going towards the end of the bracket. You need them to win the first couple games.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna let you know right now. I'm gonna send you ruthless text messages in a couple days here. Just
That's fine.
and nothing against Gonzaga, only against you, because I feel like if Gonzaga loses on your side, then Adam and I are safe.
Not necessarily, because all of our people could lose. Too.
That's true, and
It's going to come down to the points of.
Jesus, that was a good one.
Yeah, so you guys know, just chugged another.
That one was on Mike, and that's number 3.
Lost my train of thought on that.
Yeah, I was ready to say
Yeah.
that Mike's heart really went to your head.
No, that burp. Felt good.
It
was that good.
Shook your brainstem.
So at the Final Four, I got 0.6 out of 2. Low Daredevil again, because I got Zaga versus Baylor in the final.
Okay.
My championship, 0.3 out of 1 correct, with Zaga taking it with a 29.8. So we'll see how this all plays out. Each round is weighted differently.
Okay.
So it could work out that Zaga loses, but I could still win. Like,
Yeah, that's all.
there's so many variables to it.
Okay.
That we'll have to see how this plays out. I'll keep you guys updated on the socials. When we get together for the next podcast.
Yeah.
I'll definitely throw out where we're sitting.
Yeah.
Because we only had half of the first round play yesterday. I'm not going to go through and really dissect things yet.
Yeah.
All I know is Ohio State really screwed me.
They got bounced.
But they also hurt you guys a little bit.
That's okay, as long as it hurts you first.
As long as it hurts.
It
you
hurt
more.
me deep.
Mm-hmm. That's all I care about.
Well, thanks for the analysis, Josh.
Yeah, man. That was really good.
Thank you, ESPN.
I appreciate you doing the work, so I didn't have to.
Hey, I actually came prepared for once.
You did, and you know what? I loved it.
I sat at home late at night, drank a couple bourbons.
Like, get on Call of Duty. Get on Call of Duty.
And wrote some shit down.
Hey, it's Adam with the Cane with the Boys in Bash Brew. Just to let you guys know, Bash Brew released a beer in collaboration with Couch Brewing this week, the Clouds Over California IPA. This is what happens when San Diego meets New England. It creates a 6% ABV drinker. Reserve your cans now on couchbrewing.com or go in person and get yourself a draft. Tell them the boys sent you.
Welcome back. I just want to bring you guys a little piece of news here. I know some other places have discussed this already, but I'd be remiss if I didn't bring this up. I'm a strong advocate for craft beer industry, and I know how hard it is to make your brewery dreams come true. So down in West Virginia, Governor Jim Justice, he plans to phase out income tax, which sounds like a phenomenal idea because who wants to pay more taxes on the money that you work very hard to earn? However, This phase out of income tax comes at several expenses that are outlined in the proposal, HB 2027. So currently right now there's an excise tax of $5.50 on a 31-gallon barrel of craft beer. It doesn't matter the size, style, or anything. It's 31-gallon barrel coming in at $5.50, which is pretty standard across the board. This new introduction would raise that up to almost $30, $29.25. This is something that could cripple any business, let alone some of the smaller breweries around here. And I know that when I think of some of the places around us here in Pennsylvania, looking at a 31-gallon barrel, some breweries around us actually don't produce that much beer to begin with because of price to brew and price to distribute and how to keep their customers happy. So I know that right now when we look at what we do here in the brew lab, the average cost for us to make something and to keep it so we can hand it out to everybody at a favorable price, we're still spending a decent amount of money to bring you a good beer. We could cut some corners and bring you something that doesn't taste up to our standards, but we would never do that to you. Much akin to the Greenbrier Valley Brewing Company in Lewisburg, West Virginia, they estimate 3,200 barrels per year. And under this new tax proposal, it would actually come out to $93,000 a year for them to even have their quantities brewed and distributed. That's crippling. You're talking about almost $100,000 to do the thing that you love and that took you so long to get to. It comes to a point where are we going to stop taking away from smaller industries at the expense of their ability to service the people who love them?
We were actually kind of hitting on this last night at Couch, especially for to bring it locally to the Pittsburgh area. It's almost easier to start a business like that outside of Allegheny County.
Yeah.
Because of the health codes and the taxes, it's easier to get your footprint outside and bring it in.
Yeah.
And it's crippling small business.
Yeah, it's hard enough to get a brewery going in the first place. But to do and Pittsburgh went through a similar thing like this. I don't remember the amount of increase.
But it was a tax hike.
It was a tax hike. Yeah, it was a very similar thing. So I don't know. And in all honesty, I'm very ignorant to West Virginia and West Virginia breweries and their other regulations over beer, other than this, because I saw this news story. But I mean, I think what they did in Pittsburgh and what it looks like they're doing here is they're just going to pass it on to the consumer.
Yes.
In taproom, I don't know how that really hits in distribution. If you're doing cases of beer or whatever, it's a little bit more. But I did the quick dirty math on this, and I think it comes out to 10 more cents per pint.
So
passed on to the customer. So that's not going to persuade me to not go somewhere.
Correct. But I think too, that sounds palatable to a consumer. But if we look at the cost assumed then by the distributor, we're talking about possibly a second brewer that you could pay with the amount of money that you are going to have to fork out to keep your production up.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't know how, when they have to pay this, do they have to pay it, I don't think the news story said if they have to pay it all at the end of the year or, for every barrel going out the door, it's just tacked on there.
It's tough to say, but I will say this, though. There are some bars and restaurants that have talked about, in response to this news article, how much they rely on craft beer to be diverse from other restaurants. I mean, we see it in Pittsburgh a lot. There's always a tap of craft beer in a restaurant. I mean,
most places have one, yeah.
Yeah, and I think down in West Virginia, they're kind of behind us on that. I think that when you come up into Pennsylvania, we're more commonplace with how we distribute craft beer, and I think West Virginia is getting there. And this would significantly stunt them. So there was actually an owner of a local business, and he was quoted to say, if this is going to increase our overhead costs, we, of course, have to pass that on to somebody, which is the consumer. The consumer is going to see higher prices here than they would in Ohio and Kentucky and likely go there to seek those out. Not only that, but Pennsylvania.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and with what we're doing here, you got Pennsylvania, Virginia, Ohio, Kentucky. I mean, you're talking about some states that are really hitting it hard. all over the state.
Yeah, and with good beer too.
Great beer, yeah, and at fair prices. So if you want to come up here and get beer from us, just follow us on our Instagram at bash_brew, and we'll hook you up. But Governor Justice believes that the bill will even everything out, and the cost hike on craft beer could be leveled by the extra money in the consumer's pockets when he eliminates income tax. I still think that that's a careless idea because if you look at basic economics, that kind of return from your consumer takes an amount of time.
Right.
Where a lot of these breweries could be affected outright, and some of them have to close their doors because they can't afford this tax hike.
I think they'll be fine. I mean, they need to. I don't think a 10-cent. And I'm looking at it from a tap room, going into a tap room, getting a beer,
okay,
a couple beers, leaving. As a customer, 10 cents a beer is not going to deter me from going to West Virginia, or rather going to Kentucky or PA or
right.
What's going to deter me is the quality of beer.
Yeah, and that's
so like
true.
West Virginia, and I'm not saying they have bad beer, but I don't even know
yeah.
about their beer. So like they need to
Step
become more of a presence in the craft beer market. One, and your state's getting no income tax, so like. That's fine. I don't see it hitting existing breweries that hard. I see it being another hurdle or a hurdle for new ones to come in.
Yeah, and to kind of play off that too, take a guess at what the federal cap is for big industries. If you guys want to just throw a number out there, if I'm saying that it's 29.25.
For like non-alcohol, like
no, like for think Anheuser-Busch. Like,
okay, so for other beer
companies. Yeah, think like big beer conglomerates that can push out their beer at mass production. What do you think the federal cap is across the board?
What was West Virginia at?
West Virginia was currently at $5.50 per 31-gallon
The
barrel.
federal cap is $15.
I was going to say, it's significantly higher. I was going to go like 30.
So it's actually $18. So you guys are kind of like, you're playing around with the number, but you guys are kind of both on the money.
On either side of it, yeah.
Yeah. So, but the thing about that is that's across the board. So it's 18 no matter what, which could hurt them in certain states, but it could also benefit them in certain states, especially if this gets passed in West Virginia and some reason or another Anheuser-Busch puts a factory over there to push out some of their beer. You're going to have the startup craft beer place down the road paying $29 plus for their barrels, and is that going to work with Anheuser-Busch because they're a bigger company?
They'll get mopped up.
Yeah, so
Easy.
You're talking about another, like Adam said, it's another hurdle for small business and for someone, and we're the three of us here just trying to make this work.
Yeah,
I can't imagine.
That's why it's hard for me to wrap my mind around
it
because I'm just like, just to like have a local spot where people can come in and I can pour drafts is where my head's at.
Yeah,
I'm not dreaming in my lifetime to ever compete with Anheuser-Busch.
Right.
But there are bigger breweries in West Virginia. Yeah. Obviously, if they're doing 3,200 barrels a year, that's a significantly sized brewery.
So I will say hot take, because I'm bringing hot takes every week now. Hot take, you're already better than Anheuser-Busch.
Well,
thanks.
Because if I wasn't, I would.
Yeah,
I'd quit.
We need to stop right now.
Although, I mean, Anheuser's buying a lot of shit up.
They are.
And ruining it.
Yeah. They come in and they
looking
fuck
at you,
it up.
Goose Island.
Yeah. Goose Island, R.I.P. Devil's Backbone.
So I'm going to interject for a second.
Yeah, sure.
My friends.
Yeah. Number 4? Adam, it's almost time for us to split one.
Yeah, there's only 2 left.
Yeah. So we'll have to start thinking about that. So the last thing I want to say on here, and this is just coming from my small business mind, the federal cap is $18. That leaves Anheuser-Busch at the mercy of the federal cap, while the craft beer industry is at the mercy of a 431% tax hike. That is significant, and I hope that if it does get passed, that the craft beer industry in West Virginia finds a way to overcome
So
this.
I will say that's not fair. And yeah. I don't know what ended up happening in Allegheny County. I know all the local breweries met about it, and this was years ago, 2018, 19 maybe. And I remember for like a month seeing an extra, like a really weird total on my checks where it was like instead of $31, it was $31.42.
Yeah.
But now it seems like it's. I don't know if they all just rounded up to the nearest dollar. Well, I mean,
Which makes
nothing
sense.
prevented
Yeah.
me from going out and buying taproom beer or cans or.
I was ready to say, like, you go out right now, and it's kind of like a pint is like what, $5-6 bucks.
Actually, and I might be completely misspeaking. I do think it might have only been on in-house sales. I don't think cans were affected in PA.
That makes sense.
It looks like in West Virginia,
Yeah.
it's everything.
Because I haven't seen really a spike in how much a 4-ski or a 6-ski costs.
I
when
think
you
that
get it at
stayed
a store.
pretty flat over
Yeah.
the last couple of years. I mean, a couple breweries, understandably, especially the smaller ones, probably hiked up a buck or two during the pandemic because
Understandably
everything
so,
was
yeah.
cans. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So, if you want to keep up with this, just go ahead and Google it up. It's the bill. It's HB 2027. So you can keep your eye on that. And also, too, if anyone out there has had a good beer from West Virginia, I'd like to know what they are because I definitely want to get my hands on some, especially before it costs me an arm and a leg to get a can. So if you guys know anything, hit us up. Let us know about it, okay?
Yeah, I think the podcast should maybe take a trip down there when stuff opens up and
That sounds like-
check out if you're around
Yeah.
Morgantown or around Wheeling or something.
Sounds like a great idea.
We actually could take a trip down because we got your phone. We could do a live reaction podcast.
Yeah, we could.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Camp out and see what's going on. And I tell you what, man, I would like to see what they can do.
Yeah, I didn't mean to take a shot at West Virginia. I just really don't.
No.
I don't hear about them up there. But I hear about Ohio. I hear about Kentucky.
Yeah, well, to put it in perspective too, like I have a beer delivery kind of like Tavor, and I've received beer from all over the United States. I've had it now for 6 months, 7 months, and I'm getting it from everywhere. I've never had one from West Virginia in there. I've had it from Virginia. I've had it from Kentucky, Ohio, even in state Pennsylvania, from Philadelphia. But I haven't seen anything from West Virginia. So, but that's not to say that they're not doing a good job. It's just they're not hitting.
Well, yeah, because I was.
kicking our ass in the vaccinations.
Yeah, they
we can't
sure
talk
are,
too much
man.
about West Virginia.
I mean, because I was gonna say that even coming from it from my perspective, that I can't tell you where a brewery would be in West Virginia.
Morgantown's the only thing I can
Yeah,
think of.
that's the only place that I
Morgantown's
would
the only
think.
like I've researched it before, and Morgantown, and maybe Wheeling has 2 or 3 together, but like Morgantown seemed to have like 3 or 4 like within 20 minutes of each other.
That makes sense because
I mean, college town. They're but
big college
Yeah.
town.
And but the fact that you just said 3 to 4 within 20 minutes, you're at Couch. You can't throw a stone without hitting like
I was ready to
2 or
say,
3.
yeah.
Like
The normal thing that we always do is we'll go to Couch, and then as we're at
Hop.
Couch drinking their delicious beers, I'm looking up the menu for Inner Groove.
Yeah,
because
like-
it's a couple minutes
Yeah.
away. I'm gonna go over there too. But all right, I digress, man. Let's get into some funnier stuff. Adam, you kind of let me know that you got a bone to pick with somebody, and I'm excited because
that
you don't.
shotgun's coming out.
Oh yeah, you don't often get mad at people, so I'm kind of excited to see what this is all about.
so it's all about cancel culture.
Okay.
And this man was a recent
yeah.
target of cancel culture.
Okay.
I guess. Some of his books, Dr. Seuss. So this is not about
Green eggs and ham.
yeah. Well, this isn't about Green Eggs and Ham, and it's not about the books that got quote unquote canceled.
Okay.
Because I don't agree with
Yeah, I mean,
that. I mean, I think you could just make them more PC. I mean, a lot of things don't
Yeah.
age well. It's understandable.
well, also too, let me just throw this out there. I don't, from my casual reading experiences, do not pick up Dr. Seuss books. That's kind of
Well, as a child, though, it was like my
nope.
oh well.
I mean, that's about my reading level.
You did a really good job with that analysis with that kind of reading level, buddy.
So yeah, he wasn't a really good dude. Like everybody's standing up for him, like because it's of course bringing back nostalgia to your childhood.
Of course.
For a lot of people, where I grew up on that. You can't cancel his books or whatever.
Yeah.
But again, I don't agree with that either. I mean, there's some things that need to be stopped. You need to learn from your history.
Absolutely.
And you can tweak it. I don't like PC culture either, but I'd rather have that than you just wiping stuff off.
Yeah.
But I digress. None of that matters. I'm talking about the man, Dr.
man.
Seuss. I think his name was Theodore.
Theodore.
So
Loser.
to interject off of what you just said, though, the 6 books that were canceled, I'd never even heard of.
I only heard
at
of-
least 5 of them.
I only
might
heard
have heard
of
of one.
Yeah. I mean, I think they were his really early works where like
And I mean, I will be honest.
Different
I
stuff
saw
flew.
the snips.
Yeah.
It got real bad.
It's a bit dicey.
It got
Yeah.
real bad, and
Yeah.
I agree. Like cancel culture is
It's a tough thing, man, because
it's hard to talk about.
well, and it's
Yes.
not a one size fits all.
No.
on everything.
No.
No.
I mean, you had the TikTokers coming after Eminem
Yeah, which
for his
and
"Set the House on Fire" lyric with Rihanna.
Which also too, I just gotta say, in response to Eminem, the best thing I ever saw with response to that is Sir Elton John put out a statement about it recently, and I'm not gonna go back through that because it's a long statement, but I read it twice and it's phenomenal. I love Elton John a ton. I love Eminem a ton. So,
don't get me wrong. I was real excited when the TikTokers came after him because that meant
he's gonna
we were
destroy
getting
him.
fire from Eminem.
We're getting a new album and people are getting shot.
Yeah, like when it crosses into affecting people's like art and like the freedom of speech, I really don't want to get into that discussion. That's not what this is about. But that's where I'm like, edit it for the new generation or I don't even like that idea. Like it's art. This is what it was in that time period. This is history.
Well, Disney's doing something too, where like they put a disclaimer before you start up like an old school clip, like one of those 7-minute RKO style symphony things. Yeah, and it'll say like there are some depicted ideas and philosophies that we don't agree with now, but take it with a grain of salt, basically. Then,
everybody deserves a level of respect and happiness.
Well, absolutely,
100%.
And you also can't cleanse everybody's like that was history. That's our dirty past. You need to learn from it.
Yeah, you can't go and cancel the Holocaust, for instance. Like, that happened.
Don't you say that.
This got real
Don't you say that.
Like, what you keep bringing up is learn from the past.
Yeah, right.
If you keep canceling it out, nobody's going to know about it.
Right.
Well, I want to know a lot about Dr. Seuss because...
So Dr. Seuss, the man, he was... he actually started in illustrating and writing in... World War I and World War II with like propaganda cartoons,
like
and
pro-America.
It was pro-America, but it was very like xenophobic by today's standards, and depicted like Asian Americans,
not like Rosie the Riveter,
things like that. Yeah,
that's what I was talking about in the books.
But that's not even the worst thing he did.
That sounds pretty bad.
So
though.
The reason he's getting shotgunned,
boom,
is how he dealt with his first wife, Helen.
Oh my god!
So Helen had.
Helen Keller?
Helen Geisel.
No, you're thinking Anne
married
Frank.
name Geisel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I get them confused.
You do, I know.
So Dr. Seuss's wife Helen they were married, I believe, like just out of college, so young.
Okay, like sweethearts.
Had a decent marriage, and then Helen had some health concerns. I saw like maybe like over 6 different kinds of diseases that were attacking her at the same time, including terminal cancer.
Jesus.
And she dealt with these for about 13 years of their marriage and the end of her life.
So she dealt with terminal cancer for 13 years, or that was just a tail end?
That
of
was
it?
just I don't know how much of that, like these diseases hit her over those 13 years.
I'm just gonna say right now that she's one tough lady if she carried terminal cancer
and
for 13 years.
I mean, Dr. Seuss being the great guy he was, went on and had an affair.
Well, that's smart,
while his wife was bedridden at home for part of these years. So not only did he do that, but he told her about the affair and kind of like rubbed it into her face until she overdosed on barbiturates.
Are you
because her heart was broken. So Dr. Seuss, not a great dude. Like, just for everybody that's running to the defense of their childhood, just like look up a little bit about the man. Did that and then went and married the adulteress, the mistress. Pretty shortly after his wife passed.
Look, I'm appalled a little bit just because like it's like, oh my darling, I know your cancer hurts your body so much, but I've been just destroying pussy on the side. Take these pills.
I've had
and I'm heading out now.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
I've had this woman out there hopping on pop the whole time.
Yeah, that's how he wrote the book. Hop on Pop is about his affair. And Horton Hears a Who is when his wife passed away and he heard her last breath come out of her body because he's a dickhead.
Funny you bring that up. So a quote after his first wife passed, he said about the whole situation of her being sick for 13 years. I got to a place where I didn't know whether to kill myself, burn the house down, or just go away and get lost. However, or whatever Helen did, she did out of absolute love for me. Her death was her last and greatest gift to me.
Fuck this guy. It's not even about
the gift of going out and not regretting things.
Yeah. Holy shit.
So then he married the second wife, and that's the end of why Dr. Seuss is so terrible. But then he went on and left everything to the second wife. And I'll also blast her a little bit because then she sold all the rights to his shit shortly after he died.
Yeah.
And we got stuck with that terrible Cat in the Hat movie and the terrible Lynch movie. And it just kind of like bastardized even like his good work became, you know,
well, because
commercial.
Everybody read, you know, like Green Eggs and Ham. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
And like you said, before you told me all that, man, like when I saw that he was getting heat, I was like, come on, man, like, you know, he wrote the Lorax, so he can't be that.
I think he
bad.
just got heat for the wrong.
Now I'm on
not
board.
Even
You
for
know
the
what?
Wrong things, 'cause,
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Cancel Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, you're canceled, dickhead. You're canceled. You killed your wife.
Again, this isn't for canceling. It's just to point out, like,
it's for canceling.
Not
No, yeah,
everybody-
no. We're canceling.
Not
them
everybody.
now.
Oh, I don't want to cancel him. I like where the places you go.
Yeah, I did too
And the
until
Lorax.
just now. I'll watch the movie because I what the hell was that? I always want to say it's Joe Pesci, but it's not
Danny DeVito?
Danny DeVito, yeah. When Danny
I can
DeVito
understand.
can do any voiceover, I'm gonna watch that. Oh my god!
Yeah, but just a little quick, kind of the dark side of Dr. Seuss for everybody.
so
Just to ruin your week.
yeah, I wouldn't say that it ruined my week, but I will say that man, I am a product of zero research because I was, you know, like anybody else, I was like, oh, they're going after Dr. Seuss now. What's next? And then Adam probably did what? I don't know, a couple of clicks here and there and found some.
I actually knew about that before the books got canceled.
Why didn't you talk to me?
Well, me and my brother like did our own research to like
Yeah.
ruin my mom's life when we were drunk on Thanksgiving one year.
So you're like, hey, Mom, you know how you really appreciate the nostalgia of reading Dr. Seuss books before we go to bed? He killed his wife.
Yeah, he made his first wife commit suicide.
Man, I just got real sad. This is killing my Mike's vibe.
Well, the good thing about that is that you can
just-
still have another one.
I know.
So maybe it'll bring
I'm
you
getting
up.
there. I'm getting there, guys.
It'll bring you back.
I got to be careful though. I'm boarding that flight to San Diego.
but
Speaking of that,
They fly for you. I'll get you an Uber to the airport.
yeah.
I got to be okay to get on.
Speaking of California, we did get some listener emails. We did get some listener comments. We did get some listener feedback. Again, I got to let everyone know, if you are listening to us, we do appreciate it. We are having fun here, but we also want to make sure that you're getting something out of this too. So one of the first questions I got here, and I say in reference to California, is because I put out a question there as how did Adam name his beer for Clouds Over California? And one of my friends,
Apparently, this was a
it's funny.
trivia question with prizes. Apparently,
I didn't know I had prizes.
yeah,
to
I
give.
didn't either.
So he goes, he's like, it's because of Devil Driver. It's brutal. Now give me my free shit. Thanks.
Congrats, you won when nobody else was playing.
And nobody's playing at all. Yeah, I mean, I had some people like, oh, because it's, you know, sometimes it's cloudy over there. And I was like, well, you can ask Josh how cloudy it is in San Diego. I'm sure he'll let you know about that.
They legalized pot and it got real cloudy
Super
real quick.
cloudy, yeah. But it did raise a good question because someone else started to kind of bring up, like, are we going to get merch? That was a big thing. They were going to ask, like, if he's going to get free shit, what kind of free shit is he going to get? And do we have...
It's funny they asked that question.
Yeah.
A Bash Brew magnet.
Yeah, you want a Bash Brew magnet? You can get some Bash Brew apparel if you go onto the Instagram and ask for a hat or something. We'll give you prices. But
You know what? Give me the address. I'll send them a postcard.
yeah. So I'm just gonna let you guys know. I did order us some stickers. They are coming through. Adam has a pretty good background in getting some awesome stickers together. If you've gotten one of Adam's beers, the label stickers and things that come with it, that's all from Lori's Designs and you know, different companies that they use. So I actually tapped into one of them, and they were pretty cool about kind of letting me do whatever I wanted. So if you guys actually go onto our Instagram right now and you look at the new logo, it looks like a Miami Vice kind of background. That's what the stickers are going to look like. I'm getting limited press of them, and when they're available, I'm going to let everyone know. And if you want one, you can order one.
They look killer too.
Yeah.
Like they're the juxtaposition of our personalities. They're
Yes.
bright and like colorful and happy.
Yes.
But I will say, dude, great job on it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
looks
I
great.
love it.
I
Looks
appreciate
like you
it.
paid a graphic designer to do that.
It's
Yeah, you know what happens, and this is where the dad vibes come in. When everyone falls asleep, and I can't go to sleep because I was working really hard at making sure no one killed themselves throughout the day, I sit around and play on graphic design programs, and I came up with that. And You know what's crazy about that one too is that that's the last one I made before I fell asleep. I was getting frustrated. And I was messing around. I was like, oh wait a minute, that actually doesn't look too bad. I kept thinking it kept looking like Duff beer to me for some reason. I don't know why.
Did you fall asleep in the middle of it, like when you were trying to watch scrambled porn as a kid?
I never did. What are you talking about? You fell asleep in the middle of watching scrambled porn?
Skinamax?
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
So, like, you were watching it actively as a kid, and then
I mean, it was scrambled. You had to keep trying to keep an eye out for a nipple.
So, did you like get entranced by it, and you had to fall asleep?
It was just too difficult. And I was
How
like,
old were you?
I mean,
Your eyes get tired.
13.
13, and you had no energy at 13.
I mean, I was fucking 2:00 in the morning.
You can go see a doctor, buddy. So again,
You're a sloth.
yeah, I want to make sure that everyone knows that we are going to start working on some fun stuff to get out to people. Just to let you guys know, the T-shirt game is insane. I don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon.
That'll be in the future. We need some serious demand to make
and you know what? The other thing too, I never want to ask people for money. So we had options here for this podcast to monetize it in certain kind of ways, or set up like PayPal's and stuff. People can send us money, and I don't want to do that yet. If you guys do like what
4 or 5 episodes in, maybe a little too early.
If you guys like what we do and you do want to help us out, just like, subscribe, and share to what we do, and you can punch it out to people. Just tell them what we do, and if they want to talk to us, we respond pretty quickly on our Instagram and Facebook. And I want to get rid of these stickers. When they come in, I want to get rid of them. I don't want to keep them. So when they do come in, just keep your eyes peeled on all of our socials.
Plus, if you send us enough money, this podcast will go from decaying with the boys to decaying with the brewers.
Yeah. We would absolutely love to be doing this from the back room of our tap house. So, the more you guys support us, share us, like us, and subscribe to us, the closer we can get to giving you cool stuff, doing more cool stuff, and maybe getting involved with some more collaborations.
Yeah. And I completely joke about that. We just want our listenership up. We don't.
Yeah. If something cool comes from it,
don't get me wrong.
It'll come organically.
I'm real appreciative of what we have now.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Yeah, we have a blast doing this, and if we can bring more cool stuff to you, that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
So actually, this is great. This next question, I want to give a shout out to all the homebrewers and everybody who are actually following us on Instagram and Facebook, and some people who don't want to get in the homebrew, but they just kind of know that we are punching out some seriously delicious stuff over here. So the question we got, and I'm surprised it took this long to get it. We have a guy. It sounds like he lives around us, but he wanted to know. I want to start homebrewing, and he wants to get involved with it heavily. He does not want a beginner setup. He wants to go to he doesn't want a Mr. Beer. He wants a setup that he can actually produce something that he can share with his friends on a consistent basis. Okay. And I know, just knowing Adam for as long as I've done it with him, the brewing, I've seen his equipment evolve exponentially. But I do remember you started off with a Mr. Beer kit, didn't you?
No, I started off like one step above it. You're never going to get, if you want to one and done yourself, get a Mr. Beer kit because they are awful.
I can actually speak to that.
Yeah, that beer will taste terrible.
Because when he started getting into it,
I
was like, what's this all about? I looked, the craft beer scene was exploding a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, did some research, found that little thing. I was like, if I want to help Adam out, let me learn what I'm doing. I bought a Mr. Beer kit. I put it in a closet because it said to keep it in a cool, dark space.
Oh, yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
I put it in a closet in, end of September to be ready for, a Thanksgiving release.
Yeah.
Never went in that closet,
so
I forgot about it.
Oh, God.
I found it, the next April.
Oh, no.
Well, you can't really, you can't blame that all on the Mr. Beer
kit,
then.
But,
that's a little. Did you fall asleep again watching Skinamax and just kept forgetting that you had a Mr. Beer?
No, I'm not putting that on the Mr. Beer.
Yeah.
But
it wouldn't have been good even if you took it out 3 weeks later.
The whole just how small it was easily forgotten, stuff like that. You tuck it away and you just don't remember about it.
Right.
Well, I think too some of the bigger differences too that I know of is that Mr. Beer relies heavily on extracts instead of actual fresh hops.
Even hop extracts are a different thing, but grain malt extracts are a fine way to start.
Yeah.
There's no shame in that.
Okay.
I would say to start off, if you want to be serious about it, shoot for a 5-gallon setup.
Okay.
I can recommend South Hills Brewing Supply here in Pittsburgh since he's a local guy.
Yeah, it's a wonderful place too.
Yeah,
They have everything you could think of.
If you're not in the local Pittsburgh area, morebeer.com,
Okay.
northernbrewer.com, midwestsupplies.com. There's a ton of homebrew websites that'll ship all over the country. I know from experience, More Beer, if you order over $65, your shipping's free, and that's worth it, especially for a setup.
Well, I was gonna say too, $65. If you're gonna be making something that's worth drinking, you're gonna spend $65. I mean, like going back to something we said earlier, that the amount of money we pour into what we make here, I can tell you that I don't think we've ever paid for shipping the entire time I've been working under Adam's supervision.
Well, and I think, and like I said, locally, I can only really speak locally. If you go into South Hills and say you want to get into it and say you want to start doing 5-gallon batches, they'll ask you the right questions to get you where you need to go to start. From there, you just start upgrading bits and pieces.
Yeah.
I think first I upgraded my boil kettle. Then I moved into upgrading fermenters. I mean, the plastic buckets are fine to start to get into it. But then you might want something nicer that comes and cleans your beer out, something with a cone bottom, whether it's plastic or stainless steel. I mean, stainless steel is always better, but also more expensive. Plastic works fine.
Yeah.
Just make sure to keep it out of sunlight if it's clear plastic.
Yeah.
Always, sun is the enemy of beer, so
Absolutely.
keep that in mind when you're looking at fermenters.
Yeah. I also want to say too, just in terms of like how I assist here, sanitation is key.
Oh yeah,
I'm constantly cleaning. It's a lot of cleaning.
Yeah.
You got to make sure don't think you're going to get away with using like Dawn dish liquid soap. Like you got to spend the money on the sanitation. You're really gonna like the difference.
Right. But then once, so after upgrading some fermenters, I think the biggest step of my start to the craft beer journey was going from bottle conditioning, which is carbonating the beer in the bottle itself, to kegging the beer. As soon as you start kegging the beer, it like speeds up your process.
Yeah.
It's less risk of oxidizing the beer.
There you go. I was going to say oxygenizing. That's not even a word.
That's where I was going with
Yeah.
it.
It's not even oxidating, it's oxygenating the beer.
It's putting on a
I've had too many beers to try to say that.
Order.
But yeah, I mean, kegging beer is a huge step.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest step in like your first year or two that you're going to take.
I mean, I could say
And it's expensive. I mean, every step is
It's a
expensive,
cost.
which is why I would definitely take a step, brew a couple batches, make sure you're still into it, then invest.
Yeah.
Brew a couple batches, make sure you're still into it, invest.
So, and if you want to see kind of where it leads, I would say the setup that we operate on right now, it's 10 gallon.
Now it's a lot of 15-gallon like vessels, but it's for 10 gallons.
So if you go on to Adam's Instagram for the brewery at @bash_brewery, you can really see you're looking at a product of over 10 years of collecting equipment and trial and error.
A lot of upgrading in the last 2 though. 'Cause me and my wife really got serious first, and then really we're looking into serious brewing equipment.
Yeah.
And at this point, it just doesn't stop. We're either gonna improve a piece of equipment. Every time I buy something new, I can only enjoy it for like a week, and then I'm like, okay, this is what I get next. Because we either like it's gonna improve the quality, and then once our quality's at a standard I'm happy with, then we're gonna increase quantity.
Yes.
So it's just we're gonna keep scaling this up until it can be something that's profitable commercially.
Right. And you'll see too, as you continue to add big pieces of equipment, there are little doodads here and there that you really want to have too.
A good chiller's important.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a home brew talk forum online that you don't even have to sign up to access what's being talked about. You only have to sign up if you're going to input info.
Yeah.
They're a big help. If you have a question, go in there.
Yeah.
You see a little bit of arguing back and forth, but, use your judgment.
For the
I haven't
most
ever
part.
seen anything in there that's super misleading. So.
No, and I would say too, if you are local, like you're reporting here, there are tons of homebrewer groups in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Actually, Adam is a part of one and I'm familiar with him too, because every competition we go to, Trash would be there.
Yeah, Trash and Trube and Ways, and there's a Bash, which is Butler. So like every surrounding county has one.
Yeah.
Allegheny has at least 2.
Yeah.
Washington County even has a small one. Join a local homebrew group. Pick those guys' brains. Everybody's really nice. Go to a craft brewery in Pittsburgh.
They all started off as
yeah,
home brewers.
I would not go on a Saturday at 3:00 and expect to talk to the brewer. But if you go on like a Thursday when they first open, or a Saturday when they get there early, try to pick the brewer will talk to you if they have time. They are all. I have not met a rude professional brewer in Pittsburgh. Like
I've only met one brewer that kind of freaked me out, and it was down when I was in South Carolina. I think he was doing it on purpose, but he wouldn't ask you what you want. He was pouring beers for people out of the taps, and I won't say the name of the place, but he just would stare at you with very, very wide eyes, and you had to kind of guess what he wanted of you. So eventually, like, he's staring at one of the people I was down there with, and all of a sudden she's like, "Can I have a fucking beer, man?" And he's like, just nods his head up and down real slow, like Lurch from Addams Family. But he was still sweet because after he broke character, he was talking to us. And the beers were good, but he was just like, sometimes the brewers get bored and they want to fuck with people a little bit. Right. So don't get deterred, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and I will say personally, and don't, hit them with, don't expect them to always be free and be able to talk. But if they are, Dave and Tom from Abjuration were probably the biggest advice givers to me and like biggest inspirations in Pittsburgh.
I could say that, yeah. They're very sweet guys, and they want people to be successful, and you can see it right now, just kind of what Adam's doing. The recipes he's coming up with, starting off as a home brewer, he's still a home brewer, but now like you're getting onto big systems, and people are trusting you with recipes, and you're like the first person that people call for competitions. Yeah. I mean, so.
I can't thank Couch enough for Darren from Couch took a huge risk on us, and so did Bobby Nacho when he was at Couch. Like they both believed in what we were doing here.
Absolutely. So thank you again to Darren and Bobby. They're doing some big things too.
And Abjuration, before I was growing, let me come, help them on their system. Like that's what really like hooked me into like, I think I can do this. Like, so I can't thank those people and those breweries enough. Yeah.
So it goes back to don't be afraid to ask people for advice. Don't be afraid to talk to brewers on not on a busy day. Get into some home brew groups here in Pittsburgh or wherever you are. If you're located in Butler, Washington, Westmoreland, there's always a group out there. And also, too, don't be afraid to hit people up on Instagrams and Facebooks. I mean, these guys are pretty responsive. I have a guy from Poland who actually will answer questions that I have about, because we're trying to crest into some different kind of styles, and he specializes in lagers, so I've been picking his brain, and he actually got a Google Translator so he could actually talk to me.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's
pretty cool.
Just email us or hit me up or any of us up on Instagram. We'll get back to you on what those groups are and when they meet. For sure. I mean, it's spotty right now during the pandemic, but I think within this year, it's usually monthly meetings, and they'll resume. Yeah. And they're very low pressure. Show up if it's convenient to you, and get a lot of advice and some tasting notes on your stuff.
Yeah. So boys, all this talk about quality beer.
Yeah, I see you got one in your hand. Oh dear God!
What call beer?
Let's go for that kill shot, huh?
Oh my God, it's so terrible. Mikes. Oh my God. Well, Josh, if you wanted to, you could pour the one out for Adam and I to share, so we can be there for your last one with you.
Yeah.
We can cheers it up at the end of the show.
That was his last one.
That was your last one?
Yeah, we're on ours.
No.
Yeah. We're on ours.
Well, if you want to pour it for Adam and
he can drink something good now while we drink.
Yeah.
I can be in your position.
Get behind there and get some crushed by the fists.
Give me some more of that Monday's Vienna, baby.
Yeah, baby. So the other question we have here, and it was really quick, but I thought it was kind of funny. People want to know, first off, someone asked if I was on Twitch, and I know Adam actually was on Twitch very recently with the guys from Hop Nation and
an American Slacker.
And if you don't know who those two people, those two podcasts are, you gotta look them up. Fantastic. But I was like, no, I don't have a Twitch. I suck at video games. I like playing. But the question was, are you guys on Xbox, PlayStation, or whatever? And do you fools want to come get this smoke? I think all the kids these days are saying, do you want the smoke?
Want the smoke.
You can't handle this smoke, first off.
I'm going to tell you right now, I am on Xbox.
I suck at everything.
I'm on Xbox.
That's not true.
I'm on there and I suck, so you're not going to get my name because also I'm not going to be on enough to actually play you in anything. And also, I don't know if you want to play games that were released back in 2013.
Spyro the Dragon.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I got you.
That's right.
Yeah, but I'm on Xbox. The tag name, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like your gamer
username is Grenadam, Grenadam.
It's a metal fucking name.
Well, I made it back like a long
I know. Back when you only wore bandanas.
So,
But yeah, I'm an Xbox guy for the time being. I don't know. I mean, I'm still on Xbox One. When the new gens become a little more affordable, I might get one. I'm really aging out of it poorly. My hand-eye coordination is not what it used to be.
I'm running PS4.
Hell yeah.
I think about the Xbox. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Mainly because Adam and we run a clan for Call of Duty. We got a nice little squad going.
I have not heard that since. So little background on me. I used to be in like Quake 2, like PC clans, and I was in the Dragon Clan. Man, you don't fuck with us. We were some bad motherfuckers, and that was the last time I heard that term. So
I was big into the Diablos.
Oh yeah, I played Diablo for a little bit too. Yeah.
But nowadays it's all I'm trying to get into them first person shooters again.
Yeah.
So I stopped playing years and years and years ago. Mainly when the whole like boom started of these people that were coming out and playing professionally.
Yeah,
because I'm not on that level.
Blew up.
Yeah, I am not. I understand that about myself.
Yeah.
And it stopped being fun. Like I can't load into a game.
It turned into a job.
Yeah, I can't load into a game and take 2 steps and get killed and expect to keep going.
Not only do you get killed, but you get killed and you don't know where it came from.
Or teabagged.
Yeah. Still, you know what? And I'm so happy that video games still let that happen because that's I remember like way back when we do the LAN parties and we'd play Halo together. Like my buddies and we were in high school. Teabagging was the most hilarious thing you could do, and the most insulting thing, which I didn't know. Because when you're playing with your friends locally, you're like, haha, I'm putting my balls in your face. Your body's dead.
But it's a thing. Like,
but if you go online and you do that, people are like, you disrespect, and they'll hunt you. I didn't know that until it was too late.
Yep. So, I will say for any cross-platform games out there, I'm willing to play with people.
Yeah.
I might not be the best, but my call tag, whatever it is.
I think it's called a gamer tag.
Okay. My gamer tag would be SLF. Content, and then the number 4.
What is that?
Self-content 4.
Oh,
SLF CONTENT.
Kind of a wholesome name.
I tried.
That was nice.
I've had that one for just as long as Adam had his.
Yeah.
You know what?
And I think mine started on PlayStation. I just carried it over to Xbox.
I will tell you though.
Yeah.
For anybody that wants to try to get the smoke, you see me, Adam, and our little group that involves my girlfriend and a couple of her friends.
You're gonna get that smoke.
They're going to get the smoke.
Yeah.
I hope you like being camped on because I have no other strategy.
Yeah.
Adam runs around, puts his dick in the dirt.
He's like, I'm going to stay right here.
You'll see me in prone,
Yeah.
I'll fuck you up on some Nuketown.
Well, I'll say then, I wasn't going to put my gamer tag out there because I don't play enough. But if we're talking about names that are super old, my gamer tag is my AOL Instant Messenger name.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Skater Boy Matt 69.
That sounds. I should have been that. No, it's MATTA 193529.
Oh wow.
And people are like, that's a lot of fucking numbers. It's my high school locker combination from my my sophomore year of high school, I think.
That's deliciously wholesome.
It's so, and so I was
you
like,
on Happy Days?
I was, and I hated it back then too. No, it's. You know, when everyone was like, oh, you got to pick a name for this thing, because, like, MSN Messenger and all those things were getting really popular, and I didn't have a name for it, so I was like, what if I just use something I can remember? Because I remember my locker combination still now, obviously. So I use that, and that's why I don't normally tell people what my gamer tag is. Fuck you, Josh. And
I said that.
Yeah, what?
Oh, sorry.
It wasn't even me.
I saw you put your hand up next to your mouth, like you're gonna cover it up. There's a microphone there. I was like, you're not deceiving me. Sorry, Josh. Fuck you, Adam. So, so that's my gamer tag. If you want to watch me be idle for months at a time, please add me. If you want smoke, you're gonna have to, kind of schedule up with me about 2 weeks in advance, and maybe I can actually play something. Probably Rocket League. If anything, that's probably the last thing I can play with people because all my other games are so old. I think all the multiplayer support is out. I play Left 4 Dead every once in a while on my Xbox 360.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But I don't play online though. I don't
think you can anymore.
No, you can.
Oh, can you?
Yeah,
You also have to be careful with the cross-platform stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
Which I like that a lot of the game developers now are coming out with cross-platform play.
Yes,
because you're one or the other. There's no like, oh, I like them both kind of deal. Like,
yeah,
there's reasons why you like the Xbox. There's reasons why you like the PlayStation.
Yeah.
So
I've stayed Xbox for the longest time.
I like the controllers of PlayStation.
They're slimmer.
Yeah.
I
like it better for my hand movement. But
so so if you want to get at us, just write our gamer tags down, and apparently Adam and Josh will come murk you real quick.
Come get this smoke.
Come get that smoke.
I got some smoke for you.
So the last question we got here,
for you.
that I got responses on. Jesus. The last question I got responses on is so more often than not, people will use music to vibe to something while they're working or they're working out or whatever. And people wanted to know like what we do here in the brew lab when we're making some delicious brews. I actually, for me, because I put out the picture of Billy Strings on our Instagram. I love Billy. I'm particular to having bluegrass, playing some bluegrass, some punkabilly, that kind of stuff. But I'm also not outside of listening to like Yellow Wolf or Tyler the Creator, like Childish Gambino, and then of course metal all day, metal from when I wake up, metal to when I go to sleep. It's just funny because we're doing something so calm as like stirring up brews, and then in the background, I'm like, it's such a juxtaposition, man. But that's if you see me driving around the windows down, you're probably gonna hear one of those things. And if you're lucky enough to hear my Spotify shuffle through, you're gonna hear all of it, which is really odd.
Yeah, I would say for me, it's definitely like during the setup and like moving heavy shit and cleaning up. It's metal when I'm setting up. Like once we start moving the beer and it's like simmering, I get like real into bluegrass. Like,
yeah,
I like some twangy music in the background to just like chill. But yeah, I mean, in the car, it's hip hop, metal, something to get me going. Sometimes bluegrass if I'm just like doing a chill drive. But if I'm speeding, it's probably metal.
Yeah.
And then the gym, like it's hip hop or metal if I'm doing weights. Not that I haven't hit the gym very hard this last year, but
nobody has.
Yeah, but hitting the weights and cardio is like two different things. Yeah. So like hitting the weights, metal or hip hop, something that's yelling at me. And then if I'm just doing cardio, I really like throwing on like live music, just like a live concert, and just like
going for it,
losing myself in it. Yeah,
kind of conscious
of all, any genre, just good live music.
Oh, by the way, if you're looking for a good live album, I just got the Dead South Served Live album, the double LP. Can't recommend it enough. Great bluegrass, great sound quality. And they have some of their hits and some of their new stuff. But I wanted to say that real quick. I love those guys. I hope that they listen to me talk about them. Yeah. And they like me.
I think you're dropping them in on every episode somewhere.
I love you. Please talk to me.
This is actually a bad question for me. I'm just too eclectic.
Well, that's a good thing, though, because you can pick like your mood, though.
Yeah. Plus, you can stand whatever me or Matt put on.
Yeah.
Correct. I play well with any group you can put me in. Like, I can get behind it. So I don't have like a set playlist to really hammer out. Like if I'm in the gym and I'm lifting, it's probably going to be something like Kill Switch or Five Finger Death Punch. Just chilling out, driving around. Maybe I'll throw on some Eminem. Right. Spotify's got like your heavy metal or 2000s rock playlists. I'll throw that on.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just all over the
I can
place.
say like for as long as I've known you, you've always kind of been that way. Like go with the flow. And like everything. Like is me and Matt like go through phases of really being into certain genres.
As long as it's got a good beat behind it.
Yeah.
And I can flow with what they're saying lyrically.
Yes.
I'll listen to it.
Yeah. Well, it's got to like, and I love like Morrissey and stuff like that too, but I'll never listen to that stuff like when we're like trying to get something accomplished. You're just not
I think-
artsy
I
enough.
think that was a shotgun.
It's slightly better than country, like bro country music.
I can't do
See,
that.
I listen to that too.
See, that's where we're gonna differ. I cannot do stadium country.
Right.
There's something about it, and I don't know what it is. But then, like, I'll say that, and then you get in the car with me, and I have like Luke Combs playing "The Great Divide" or some shit like that. But like, I don't know. It's weird.
My thing is, I share a birthday with Blake Shelton, so
Oh,
I'm sorry to hear that.
I went and saw the Steel Drivers live at one point too. And
I don't mind them.
That was really cool, and they cut because no, Blake Shelton wasn't in that. Who was in that?
I will say, growing up, or not growing up, but living in the south of San Diego for a while.
Yeah, there's no country over there.
Well, that's where I really got into
Yeah.
like the country is.
That's more like Wu-Tang.
A lot of surf rock.
yeah.
Yeah. So before, so the listeners actually threw out a pretty consistent response, and it's tons of late '90s, early 2000s rap, such as Nelly, Nas, Jay-Z, Twista, Master P, Puff Daddy and the Family, and the like. So I can tell you right now that if you want to catch me rattling off some lyrics, you put on All About the Benjamins from Puff Daddy and the Family and put a couple drinks in me, and I bet you're going to be surprised at how many of those words I know.
Well,
I mean,
it sounds like the listeners already do, but I'll give you a little bit of a tip on Spotify. When Rap Was Rap playlist is phenomenal for
it's so good, man.
Yeah, the only one that I would eliminate from that list would be Nelly.
Why?
Just
hit it with
Hot
a rubber
shit.
hammer.
too R&B-ish.
What are you talking about?
I have to agree with him. It's probably my least favorite out of
That
those
list.
listed,
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not something.
This is
if I'm in my
sacrilege.
if I'm in my feelings, maybe.
But you're telling me that country grammar comes on, and you're like, this isn't going to move me enough.
I too got my heart broken 6th grade, Matt.
Listen, I'm going to let you know right now that I'll never talk about how wrong you are on this podcast except for right now. I can't believe you listen to Stadium Country, but you don't like Nelly?
I'm not saying I don't like it.
You said you don't like him.
The last on that list for me. I
we're
would
just saying out of
eliminate
the ones you just named, that's
I would eliminate
last
that.
place.
So you're telling
One
me
of them has to be last place, and we're just
and it's
Yeah.
Master P.
no.
Nope.
Make them say, baby. No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Name another song from Master P.
That's all I know, but it's better than anything Nelly
Name
ever
another
doesn't
song.
matter.
It's better
Name
than
another
anything
song.
Nelly ever put
Name
out.
another song.
It's
Doesn't
better
matter.
than anything else.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so yeah, thanks so much for.
I'd rather listen to MC Hammer. Too Legit to Quit is way better than Nelly.
That's not a lie.
Yeah.
So
Go
hey,
Ninja,
so
go
we're
Ninja,
actually
go.
we're gonna go ahead and ask Adam, hey, what's on tap? Because we're kind of getting towards the end of what we're doing here. So Adam, if you could please let the fine people at home know what is on tap.
For sure. Right now we have the Kicking Kitty Porter still going. The Tuckered Stout, which is the Peanut Butter Stout, is still on. We have War on the Shore, which is our Dark and Stormy inspired stout. Obviously, we're still in the middle of stout season.
Yeah.
And Crushed by the Fist of God, the smoked Russian Imperial Stout, has like a few bottles left. So, yeah, that's everything that's on tap right now. Upcoming, by this time next week, we're recording this on Saturday, by the way. So by this time on the 27th of March, the cream ale will be on taps pouring. It's a Twinkie cream ale that we did.
So excited for this one.
At
Yeah.
a crisp 4.4, 4.3,
Nice.
4.4.
Yeah.
I got to look at the notes again. ABV, so nice pounder. And then a week after that will be the Drunken Donut Jelly Donut Milkshake IPA.
Which is an award-winning brew.
Yeah,
That
We've
one.
won
It's my number one.
It's placed
Yeah.
and won competitions.
And let's not be modest about that's the one that took that big competition.
It didn't win the big competition, but yeah, the
it
Pittsburgh
placed.
Big Pour it
Yeah,
placed.
yeah. So we're talking about cycling back through some of these recipes that are knockdown, drag out fan favorites. So again, you just gotta make sure you pay attention to us. Hashtag ask about them.
And then our flagship, if you could say we have a flagship, we will be brewing that after you hear our sultry voices next week.
yes,
The Jojitorium Double Honey IPA will be brewed next week,
And
and we'll
my number
probably
2.
Yeah.
we'll probably be available in, I'd say, about a month from today.
So I also want to know, Adam, can you tease anything that you might know coming up for us competition-wise?
Competition-wise, there's a rumored possible homebrew event in May.
So somebody wants this smoke, is what you're trying to tell me.
And I don't even think it's a competition. I think it's just gonna be like a little tasting event.
It's a competition. We're gonna win it.
That'll be
Even if it's not.
Yeah,
it
we're
is
winning.
for him.
That'll be socially distant. It's not a sure thing yet.
Yeah.
We will definitely provide details as it gets closer. And then we have a wrestling and craft beer
So
festival
excited.
planned for, help me out, September.
September, yeah.
I think it's September 18th, actually.
Yeah, that sounds right.
That's the soft date, I think, that they were trying to put out there.
Yep.
And that's also, too, for anyone
I think
out
it's called Brews and Bruises, by the way.
Yes.
So look it up on Facebook.
Yes. And if you need...
I will get you the details next week.
And I was going to say, too, if you're listening to us and maybe you do follow the group on Facebook, the Fueled by Hops group, they are going to be doing some promotions for that as well. There's some details on there, and it's also a great collaborative group that you can get involved with to see what's going on in craft beer in Pittsburgh. Our lovely friend Dennis Guy from First Hit Brew Box is in there a lot too, dropping out some of the stuff he's doing. So it's a great opportunity to go in there and just get caught up on what's coming up and what you can get involved with. So with all that being said, with all the things that we've talked about today, we've canceled Dr. Seuss. We've gone on to answer listener emails. We've talked about how terrible West Virginia is with not letting us know how good their beer is. And we watched Josh drink 5 of these Mike's Hard Lemonades as punishment.
Not gonna lie,
Yeah.
surprisingly tasty by the end.
Well, I hope so, because Adam and
It's
I
like
have
you
to
joined a
split
cult.
one.
Surprisingly tasty.
Just beat you until you liked it.
So, honestly, guys, I think we're done here because I don't want to drink that Mike's Hard on microphone. Because I might gag a little bit.
You're
I'm
gonna
not
make noises. You're gonna make dad grunts.
I'm gonna make dad grunts. So, everyone out there, thanks again for listening to us. We are Decaying with the Boys. You can follow us on all social media at DWTB, and that's on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. And make sure that you're following the brewery, the Brew Lab here on Instagram and Facebook at @bash_brew. And until next time,
Salute, guys.
Yeah. See you guys. Cheers.
cheers. Well, that's it. The end to another episode of Decaying with the Boys. Thanks for tuning in to listen to us. You can find us on Instagram at DecayingWTB, and please keep sending in those listener emails, decayingwtb@gmail.com. If you want to continue to find out what's happening in the Brew Lab, follow up with Adam's Instagram page at @bash_brew, and we're always on Untapped at @bashbrew. Until next time.